How many people show up with a bag for a graduation speech, right? All right, back. Okay, I'm also, you know how Italians are typically known for talking with their hands? As a speaker, I'm known for talking with my feet. I move a lot. So being trapped to a lectern is going to be an interesting experience for you tonight. So I'm going to count on you guys in the front row. I'm going to hold up this ball. What do you see? What else do you see? Blue. Anything else? Brown. Boy, you guys are in unison. Any dissenters out there? An arm? Very good. Oh, what is that? Okay.
Sphere.
What would barcode? Okay. What would you say if I said, I see a sailboat? You're wondering why they hired me to talk to me, right? But what I mean is quite literally, I see a sailboat. Graduates, ladies and gentlemen, staff, faculty, this is what I've come to talk to you tonight about. It's called perspective. I learned this lesson in college, actually, when I was trying to impress a girl and learned how to ride horses. And I spent my junior year abroad in Scotland and in Wales, and in Scotland I continued my riding, and I met a horse named Charlie. Now, I had never met Charlie before, and Charlie was what the British called cheeky. Does anybody know what cheeky means? I didn't know what cheeky meant. And the instructor for the farm said, "Oh, you'll like Charlie, he's cheeky." And about 10 minutes into the ride, she turned to me and she said, "Have you figured out what cheeky means yet?" And I said, "If you mean stubborn, difficult, hard to get along with, has a mind of its own, that doesn't do a darn thing I tell it to do, then yes, I figured out cheeky." And she says, "Bingo!" So I said, "Thank you very much." 2 hours we were out on a trek around the Scottish countryside, and I fought this horse the whole way. Got around towards the end when we were in sight of the barn. We were on top of this really tall hill. And the farm was down this hill about 300 yards away. And after fighting this horse for 2 hours, I'm sitting at the top of the hill with Lorna, the instructor, waiting for all the other riders to catch up. And I turned my horse perpendicular into Lorna's because I didn't want it to go anywhere. And I was tired of fighting. And then I made mistake number one. Any horse people here? All right. You'll know the mistake the second I say it. I relaxed. And the moment I relaxed, my hands went loose, the reins fell on the neck of the horse. I kind of settled into that English saddle for a minute, and the horse looked up at me with a sneer. I swear it laughed. And then it jolted to the left, and it bolted down the hill, heading for the farm. It knew where it was, it knew where it wanted to go, and it didn't care about the torque sitting on its back. So I bounced around, and I'm kind of trying to keep falling off this horse going down the hill, and about halfway down I lost my balance and I fell forward onto the neck of Charlie. Well, Charlie said, "I think this is a good time for a dismount." So Charlie put on the brakes, stopped, his neck went down, and like a clown being catapulted out of a cannon at a circus, I went flying head over heels, tumbling in the air, landing flat on my back in front of Charlie. I could hear everybody in the upper deck of the hill going, "Ooh!" Charlie, of course, was snickering. Lorna, the instructor, screaming, "Are you all right?" And I got up because my ego was far more bruised than my body, and I said, "Yeah, I'm fine." And once everybody realized I was okay, they laughed uproariously. Now the horse decided it didn't want to go to the barn anymore. It decided that it just wanted to have a midday snack, so it wandered off a few yards and started eating the grass. So I decided it's time to show it to who's boss, and I'm going to take charge of the horse. So I walked up to the horse. Now the perspective that I had on the horse was the horse's derriere. So I approached. Who are the horse people here? Do you see mistake number two coming? And I approached and I reached down to grab the rein, and that's when I knew something very bad was about to happen. Because you know when tragedy is about to strike and the world slows down and you're in slow motion, and I'm going, wah, 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 and the horse sees me and it rears up, it lands on its front feet, and out go the back, and it kicks this intruder that is attacking it from behind, which, if you're not paying attention, is me. And I tried to step back, and wham, boom, boom, one in my chest, one in my gut. I flew about 10 to 12 feet behind Charlie, landed flat on my back. Lorna at that point was amazing. She got from the top of the hill to me before I hit the ground, saying, "You stupid Americans, you never approach a horse from the back!" And I'm lying on the ground, unable to breathe, going, "No, you dealt me," trying to catch my breath. Here's the point. When you approach life in any aspect and you see it only from your perspective, it can get you in a lot of trouble. There are many, many perspectives in the world. And if it can't see you coming, it tends to fight back. For many of you, you're about to embark on your first real career. For some of you, it may be your second or your third. You're going to go out into the real world and you're going to meet bosses, and you're going to meet employers, and you're going to meet fellow employees, and some of them you're going to disagree with. So the advice that I would like to send you out with is one of my secrets to success, and that is perspective. Because if you look at your bosses, who will be idiots and morons sometimes, no offense to the bosses, and you see them as a horse's patootie, and you approach them as a horse's patootie, they're going to react like a horse's patootie. And they are going to kick. Now, I want you to take with you the memory of Charlie. Because Charlie didn't kick me because he was cheeky. He did not kick me because he wanted to hurt me. He kicked me because I approached him from a perspective that threatened me. And when I approached him from that perspective, he did the only thing he knew to do, and that was to defend himself. People work just the same way. So when you go out into this world and you take this wonderful talent, just remember Charlie and think about perspective. Because here's the other part of success. I got the privilege of writing a chapter in a book on it, and I had to think of what makes my perspective different than others. And what it dawned on me is this. To me, success is not about achievement. It's not about accomplishment. Achievement is about achievement. Accomplishment is about accomplishment. Success is about who you become in the process. Has anybody ever seen the movie Cars? I love that movie. Of course, I have a 5-year-old daughter, so I'm allowed to love that movie. It is the best coaching movie ever made, and it is the most brilliant discussion about success there ever was. So if you ever want to really drill home this meaning of success about who you become in the process, watch Cars and watch how Lightning McQueen ends his last race. It's not about what you achieve. It's about who you become in the process. And the way you become the person that you want to become is by choosing the perspectives that you want to take. And the best perspective you can choose is one of insatiable curiosity. First about yourself, and then about those who you are working with, being with, living with, and loving with. Ladies and gentlemen, graduates, thank you for the privilege of speaking with you, and I wish you the very best in the rest of your life.